Hey yo, bro, what's up, man? I'm just here to talk about some more movies, you know what I'm saying? Today, I'm gonna be talking about a movie I watched last week, alright? Now, it's another kind of spooky ish movie, of course. I really like the spooky movies, and this time I'm gonna be talking about the movie called Together. Now, Together was a film directed by a man named Michael Shanks, and this is his directorial debut, right? So he's never made a movie before, so this is kind of his first movie, which I think it's a pretty good try at a very first directorial debut. You know what I'm saying? So this movie stars Dave Franco and Allison Brie, which I do believe are real life husband and wife. So this is the co-stars of this movie. They play this kind of couple that is just like about to get engaged and everything. That happens pretty early on in the movie, and they get engaged, and then they are kind of trying to move forward with their relationship, and they kind of move into a new house in this woodsy area in this new town, and they're trying to adjust to their new jobs. Dave Franco, what is his name in the movie? So Millie is the wife in this movie, and Tim is the husband in this movie, or the boyfriend essentially. And Tim is like a musician, and he's like an aspiring musician, but he's also in his 30s, so he's trying to, make something of himself right there. And then Millie is like a teacher. She's like a school teacher, elementary school teacher, and they're just moving into their new house, and they are trying to get acquainted, trying to get good at like living with each other and everything. And then they kind of encounter something really weird in the woods around their house. So this supernatural thing they find in the woods is really sus, and it makes some different effects happen to their bodies, which kind of make them start, you know what I'm saying? Like their bodies start to literally merge, and they're trying to figure out what the hell is happening here. So this movie, it's a short one. It's a shorter one. It's around an hour 40 or something like that. And I thought it was a pretty solid film. When we're talking about spookiness, it's not too overly spooky. It's got some spooky moments, but it's also not overly really spooky. So on the spook meter for this one, I'd probably give this one. See, I gave my last one a 5.5. This one I'll probably give like a. I'm stuck doing a 5 out of 6 again here, man. It wasn't that spooky, to be honest with you. I'd probably give this one a 5 on the spook meter for sure. And I was entertained all the way throughout. In the beginning, it's got an interesting setup with these characters, and of course the boyfriend and the girlfriend in the movie, husband and wife. They have a pretty good dynamic with each other and a good chemistry with each other, because they're real life husband and wife. I really like Dave Franco too. He's the brother of James Franco, so if anyone knows that, Dave Franco's brother played Harry Osborn in the original Spider-Man trilogy. I love my Spider-Man movies, so I really like Dave Franco as well. I remember seeing him in movies like Neighbors and stuff like that. Neighbors was a pretty solid comedy flick as well. So seeing Dave Franco in this was pretty interesting. So something happens kind of in the beginning of this movie, in the first act of the movie. They kind of like get stuck out in the woods for a little while, and then they fall down this little hole in the woods, and they find themselves trapped in this like little cave because it's like raining. They can't climb out of it, so they're kind of just sitting in there and chilling in there for like a while, like over the night, just so that they can wait till the rain goes out. Yeah, this cave is like the sussest cave of all time, I guess, because like they go into it, and there happens to be weird like architecture and rock formations like in the shits, you know what I'm saying? Like there's like tentacles bulging out of the fucking like floor and shit. And there's like this weird bell with like a spiral symbol on it. I think it was some sort of weird symbol, but yeah, there's this bell, the insignia or the mark of whatever this place was. You know, they have no knowledge of what this is. They kind of just stumble across it in the woods, and yeah, they fall into this little hole, which leads into a little cave. Yeah, there's something in the cave that kind of starts this whole thing, and that was one things that wasn't as believable as I thought it was going to be, because they do something in the cave that is just like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Like, I would not do that. I don't know. I didn't fully believe, the reasoning and why they did what they did to then set this curse on them. You know what I'm saying? It's like they have like a curse on them from this cave, and then they start to like almost like magnetically like need each other, like attract to each other before they start to, shit hits the fan and shit, and they start literally merging their bodies essentially, right? So it's kind of like a body horror almost. That's what people are describing it as, but I've seen a whole lot worse, a lot more intense body horrors out there, that's for fucking sure. This one, yeah, I guess you could say body horror. There's some like uncomfortable moments in this one. It's more like uncomfortable and disturbing than scary, I'd say. I was more uncomfortable in a lot of scenes. Like there's one scene that, oh, there goes the focus. There's one scene that happens in like a school, in the school that like the wife is teaching at, and I'm just like, man, no, nah, no, 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 no. That was just uncomfortable as fuck. Like, no, man, like, why y'all doing that? And then, no, it was sus. And there's some moments in it where they like start to realize what's happening, and one of the members of the relationship starts to really realize this is happening, and they're like, what the fuck, this is happening, you can't see this is happening. The other member is kind of like denying it for a while, and is like, thinks the other one's crazy, and then something crazy happens, and then they both start to really believe it. And it was an interesting one there, because it was almost like one was gaslighting the other into being like, oh, you're crazy, you this isn't really happening, you're just going crazy. And then it really starts to hit the fan, then they're like, oh shit, yeah, this is happening. So, it was full of like, uncomfortable moments, good chemistry in a relationship. This is a movie to take your girl to, right? Take your girl to go see this movie, because this is really a kind of a date night horror movie. But I think you're not gonna be too romanticized here. You're gonna be looking away at the screen a couple times, and just being generally uncomfortable. I mean, that's kind of how I was in this film. The plot was kind of interesting, but by the end of the movie, I think this one actually ends kind of satisfyingly. I kind of enjoyed how it went towards the end. I didn't mind how they left it off, because it kind of made sense, I suppose. And I guess an overarching theme of this one is like commitment, spooky, spooky for the men out there, in relationships or something, that are scared of commitment. But a big theme of this is just like commitment, and you should just be committed to your partner no matter what, and just commit, commit to your partner is a big message, I guess, of this film, which I thought was intriguing, a little bit different for a kind of a horror movie, I'd say. I haven't really seen anything like that, honestly. And it's interesting to see both of the people in this relationship try to grow their own careers as well as live with each other, and while having this start happening to them in their new house. There's a few things about this curse though that I wasn't 100% sure on. Like they start to fuse together. They start to like magnetically almost like fuse together. Like there's some scenes where one of them's in like sleeping in a separate room, and then they start like being dragged out of the room like on the floor towards them, and then the other one's like like slamming against the door while they're asleep, and it's like their bodies like physically attract to each other like actual magnets. And it was a pretty interesting gimmick that they had for this one, that's for sure. I thought it was unique, and pretty cool. The cinematography in this one was pretty solid. Nothing too crazy, nothing too new. Pretty solid directorial debut for Mr. Shanks, I believe it was. This one kind of gives off almost kind of like a generic ending or reasoning to why this is happening. But I wouldn't know how else you would end this though. I wouldn't know how else you would like explain this curse being like placed on these people, I guess. So it was almost a little bit predictable that way, but I didn't think that they were gonna go so like blunt with it, I guess. But I pretty much thoroughly enjoyed this movie all around. It's a good date night kind of movie, so take a girl out to go see it. I took mine out to go see it, and we had a decent time. If you have some commitment issues or something, maybe I want to steer clear or whatever, but hey, go out and watch Together. I'm going to give Together a good solid 75 rating. 75, or 7.5 out of 10. 75 out of 100. I enjoyed this film. Go watch this film. Go see it in theaters. Because it's cool. And Lumi says so. Is that right, Lumi? She knows what's up, I'm telling you, bro. She knows what's up. Lumi, you trying to fuse or something? Want to go in that cave, bro? Yeah, there's one scene in the beginning of this movie too, with like two dogs, and they kind of do the same thing where they they fall in this cave, find themselves in this cave, and they do the thing that makes the curse them, and then that was kind of disturbing, just that whole intro scene. It was pretty cool though. It was cool, a little disturbing, pretty interesting. One of the things about the I guess initial setup of this movie is it wasn't as believable of like, they go into this cave and they see this big ass fucking like pool of water, like a cave puddle. A big ass cave puddle in the world's sussest cave. The world's sussest cave. It's all like dark as hell, black in there. They see this dark ass fucking big ass like pool of water. They're only in there for like a couple hours, right? And then they're sitting in there and they're like, I'm really, you know what? One of them's like, I'm thirsty. I'm really thirsty. You got any water there? And then one pulls out the water bottle and like, oh, yeah, only a little bit left. And he's like, oh, well, I guess I've got to check out this large, ominous cave fucking, cave well, like, puddle shit and see if I can drink out of it. I mean, no. You would not catch me drinking out of no cave puddles. Cave fucking well puddle things that like a big ass like circle of like black looking fucking water. I guess that's just regular. It appeared to be regular water, but nah, I would not. Why would you ever drink out of that? He drank out of it and then filled the water bottle with it. So then they both drank out of it, and then yeah, that was kind of the weird part for me about that. But it explained, the whole setup, but I think the real good moments come after that, though, is when the curse is actually placed on these people, and then you start to learn about this curse and where the curse comes from and why they're being cursed and stuff, which is kind of the more interesting parts of the film. I thought it was pretty solid. Sorry for the weird ramblings and whatnot. Thanks for watching. If you watched, like this shit, man. If you want some more reviews or something, you know, I'm trying to just make a bunch of them, get comfy making them, get comfy getting on camera and shit, you know. So hey, let me know what you thought of Together if you watched it, and if you haven't, what are you doing, man? Go see it. Why not? What are you doing on a Friday night, Saturday night? Chilling? Go see a movie, man. There's nothing wrong with going out to the theater, bro. Go support your theaters. Go support your box office. So I'm trying to be as spoiler free as I can. Maybe I spilled the beans a little bit on a little bit of stuff, but that's not anything that's gonna be too detrimental to your experience. So thanks for watching, y'all. See y'all the next time. I'm gonna just review some random ass movies at this point, and then I'm gonna go see some more. I might do Naked Gun next, cause I've never seen a Naked Gun movie, and I'm kind of in the mood for a new comedy. So Naked Gun might be up next. I might just hit up some random movies though that I have in my backlog that are just wild. Y'all ever seen The Coffee Table? Don't watch it, but I'll probably make a review on it. Don't watch that movie, but do watch Together. Great film. Solid. 75. Deuces.
I love you.